Right.
I'd like to call the Finance Committee meeting for June 23rd, 2020. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Alderperson Wolf.
Here.
I got a stamp like this.
Kubaki.
Here.
Madden.
Here.
And Mayor Petfalski.
Here.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Public meeting notice.
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law.
Approval of the minutes from June 9th.
Move to approve.
Discussion, corrections. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. License approvals. Recommend approval of operators licenses.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of operators license say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Looking for review and recommendation regarding 2020-2021 licenses.
Can you expand on that a little bit, please?
Catch it up here.
So you have a list of licensees in
Yeah.
front of you,
A big list.
a big list. So this is the annual renewal.
Uh-huh.
Any changes to them from the previous year are in red. So if you're looking at, say, like the Class B under Muskego Lakes, it's got a new agent. Tipsy's Threesome has a new agent. Busch Gardens is asking for a change in their parking lot hours and their patio and deck hours. Same with Bushy's itself, parking lot and patio deck. They're looking for a change in that from last year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Recommend approval of outside dance permit for AJ's Bar and Grill on Boxhorn Drive for July 12th, 19th, 26th, August 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, 30th of 2020 from 3 to 6 p.m. and an amendment to the licensed premise for those dates from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you look in your packet, there is the actual application. There's two separate ones. This first one we're talking about, I believe it's just the Sunday dates, correct?
Correct.
So that one, they're looking to play music out on their patio area. Just, I guess that would be to the west of their building. If you look on the drawing there, for Sunday afternoons.
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
Questions, comments?
It appears it's going to be down in that grassy area. I'm confused as far as.
Okay, so this diagram they have here covers both this approval and the next one that we'll
Yeah.
be discussing separately.
Okay.
So the first one, they have, it's
It's just the patio, right?
It's just
Just
the
the
patio,
patio?
yes.
Okay, this is not the hill one, okay.
Correct.
All right, gotcha.
It's the patio and the grassy area adjacent.
Yeah, they have a little
I'm
deck
sorry.
or
I think
something
you
on
want
the
to
side
spread
there.
people out more.
Okay,
Okay.
so he's asking for the grassy area adjacent to the patio.
I think the patio is actually licensed
Okay, so he's looking to spread it out on that grass area as well, so he can spread people
for those
out.
dates.
For those dates, yes. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. And then we're moving on to recommendation of approval of outside dance permit for AJ's on Boxhorn Drive for August 1st, 15th, 22nd, 29th of 2020 from 6 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. An amendment to the licensed premise for those dates from 4 p.m. till 10:30. So this is the one, if you look on that diagram, he's got it kind of drawn off on like a roped off area so people can walk to this area off on the south side of the building, kind of on the grass area. And then he wants to set a tent up in that, like, I don't know, we call that overflow parking or small parking lot area.
Do you know if he's contacted the neighbor?
Why don't we get it on the floor, make a motion and get it on the floor
Okay.
first.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Has he contacted the neighbor?
Yeah.
He said he has, but the neighbor says no.
I talked to
I'll
the
let Eileen
neighbor.
talk.
Okay.
I talked to a few of the neighbors.
Uh-huh.
He is, so his immediate next door neighbor, that's like 50 feet from where the band's going to be.
Is that like behind, that's like behind AJ's?
No, this is in that parking lot,
Parking lot
right
area.
next to Doug's house. He is very adamant that he is not happy about this. He talked to the neighbors and they're also upset. Nobody knew this was going on. He hadn't told anybody. They say that when he has these special events, all the cars wind up parked on the street and people can't get through. When he says he's ending at 10:30, it turns into 12:30. It's like it just goes on beyond. He says they wind up in their yards. He's just not happy about this. And they all talked about, he was supposed to be here. I don't think he realized we start so early now. I sent him a text message. I don't know if he's on his way or not, but from what I hear from him and the neighbors, I'm going to have to vote no.
Any other comments? What do we typically do on this? Do we just vote
It
down?
does
Do we
seem
ask
off.
to have him come back?
Yeah.
and-
No, we would vote it down,
Okay,
if that's how it goes.
all right.
It
So
does
our-
seem awfully
our
close to that
option-
neighbor, yeah.
I'm not going to argue either way for this one. I mean,
Well, I think what's happening is he's trying to become successful with all this closed down time. You know, everybody else is putting tents out and everything else. I don't know, you know, he's getting a little creative here. And I think if we have complaints like we do with any other business, then we would address them at that time, right? As of right now, there really is no complaints because it hasn't happened, other than a neighbor saying he doesn't want it, but he lives next to a bar to begin with. I understand that's a tough situation
Well,
to
it
be
was a
in,
supper club
right?
when he moved there, though. It wasn't a bar. It was a supper club when he moved there.
Well, there's a gun club there. That bar's been there for a long time. There's been a bar down there. I think that whole neighborhood is newer than that area where the gun club and the bar is.
It's not.
Well, Boxhorns has had a bar.
I've been there 20 years. I'm telling you, it's
all right,
not.
one at a time.
That's fine. I just think that, but the majority of the houses are newer there, I think.
Some of them are, yeah.
But like I said, I think we got to give them a shot. If it doesn't work, then we can we revoke this or go at, or what can we do, Jeff, if we approve it?
It's temporary, so once you give them the license, they pretty much have the license. I mean, a complaint, by the time complaints get up and going and everything, you're looking at, he's only doing this for so many dates,
He's doing it for 4 dates.
4 days. So,
He's doing it every Saturday throughout August.
yeah.
And like I said, I can understand with businesses being closed, trying to get your employees back on track and get them incomes. And it's a really tough situation to put anybody in on either side of that property, either the homeowner or the business. It's a tough situation.
Well, as I said, I don't feel comfortable with it based on what I heard from talking to all the neighbors. So my vote will be no, and
Sure.
you guys do what you do.
Is there, I don't want to design a site for him, so I guess we have two options. You can vote, we have more than two actually, but you could vote it down today. We could defer it and ask him to come back for the next meeting, which is not until July 14th, and see if he has some alternative plans that he could maybe lay out his tent somewhere else in the property. I've been there a couple times, but quite honestly, it's only been in winter and I've gone inside, so I couldn't tell you what the property looks like.
There's a lot of room around there. I mean, even
That's what
that,
I'm wondering, if there's other room he can do.
Definitely.
Another
yeah.
option would be to approve 1 or 2 of the dates. You can do that and deny the rest until he comes back. There's all different options you can do.
I would.
third option would be to move it up to council and let everybody else talk about it at a council and make a decision at that point.
Either way, it's going to be
right?
moved up to council, so you can discuss it more there, but
I think it would make more sense to have him maybe talk to the neighbors and look at possibly, maybe move it over by the patio closer. If he can have them there during the week, why can't he have this one there and then have the parking space open for people instead of having them park on the street? It'll be much farther away from the house. Where that guy won't have to listen to it blasting in his house all night.
And in all honesty, he could have it anywhere on that property. That neighbor's going to have the same issues with parking. He's going to have the same issues with sound. Yeah, the sound's going to be slightly different, but we're really talking 100 feet difference. And with
Well, if that
a
is-
band playing, it's not going to make a
If that
difference.
overflow parking lot's open, why would he still have the problem with parking?
Well, I mean, why would he have the parking? You mean this one up on top? That doesn't fit that many cars. That one on top.
Well, you have the lot by Boxhorn too, right?
Yeah, that's where, I mean, that's, the parking one kind of issues, it kind of confuses me because they have that huge parking lot down lower that,
Well,
I mean, I've been there for some pretty big, and it's just in the
Yeah,
winter.
the
but-
fish jamborees are pretty packed there.
right. Yeah, he must get a big crowd because that's what they're telling me. They're all over the street.
Well,
And I
what's a-
talked to the police department too and asked them, and they said, they have, minimal complaints about parking, but they haven't really had anybody call and complain about the bands themselves. But as far as I know from talking to Doug, he didn't know that was a big option. He thought once they have a license, they have a license. What are they gonna do?
Why don't we make some sort of recommendation, bring it up to council, and let the whole council weigh in on it, so.
Well,
My recommendation is to approve it the way it is and move it up to council.
I would think that if the neighbors had complaints, they'd be in the audience.
I don't think he realizes we're starting at 5:30. Last time he was here, we started at 7. I sent him a text message. There he is. Hey, Doug. Just the man we were looking for.
Yeah. Well, could we hear from
Yes,
this gentleman?
I know. We were just talking about it. So if you'd like to come up to the mic and tell us what you know and how you feel.
Council starts at 6, the finance starts at 5:30, so. Okay.
You might have to turn that mic on the top. There you go.
Hello? No?
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Is it open? Okay.
I'm opposed to the whole thing with AJ's for Saturday nights. Number one, because of the noise. Number two, because of the parking. Number three, because of the garbage. I don't see how it's gonna work in favor of any of the neighbors around there. I've checked with some of the neighbors in the immediate area, and they were all shocked to hear it and don't want anything to do with it either. They're not a fan of a lot of the other things that go on there, just with having the bands indoors during the winter.
So I guess what we're looking at is an expansion of his license, and it sounds like a lot of your complaints have to do with the premise itself. So, I mean,
Expansion of his license, what do you
for,
mean?
for these particular dates, he's looking for having bands outside, which is outside what his normal license is, and changing the area where they can serve. So it sounds like your complaints you're making are about the business itself, not so much that if they have these extra things. So I guess what would help the committee would be to tell us why this expansion would be worse than their normal operations.
Well, this expansion is putting the stage 60 feet from my living room.
That's a good valid point. And
Okay.
So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Again, in a panic to get here, brain's a little jumbled.
Yeah.
But yes, the stage would be 60 feet from my house.
Okay.
The noise at times is unbearable when they're inside, when they leave the dining room door open and the noise is coming out.
Okay.
And that's within the license that he has now. That's too much. I haven't called, complained. It kind of is what it is when you're living next door to a bar restaurant. I understand that. I do get that to a point, but somewhere here, I got to draw the line. And when you're going to put a stage right there, it's not even 200 feet from the next house, which is right across the street. Now, also, if you take up that parking lot area for the band, the people that are going to be there, where does everybody park?
How many spots does a parking lot fill typically, or how many, are you aware of how many cars can go in there? I mean,
Gosh,
it's not that big.
There's pretty many in that spot there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, in my recollection of it, it was like 10 cars could maybe.
I think
fit
probably
there.
like 20 maybe.
Okay. That may-
Yeah.
Now, let
20,
me ask you a
maybe
question too.
20 at best can
Okay.
park there.
Okay.
Do they own the grass area? Or just in the park? I mean, who's the grass area?
I don't have the property lines.
Is
That property there, that is AJ's.
That is, so they could actually move the tent back onto the grass area, right? I mean,
It's a swamp.
In the swamp area?
Yeah, it's
Is that what that is right
Towards the
there?
road.
Yeah.
When you go towards
When you go towards the building, is that lowland or?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
towards the building, heading north, that's low-lying area that's water.
Would that be
most of the
north?
time.
I guess.
Yeah, the
To
top
me, it
is-
looks like it's east, but,
It would be east of the building, yes,
oh, east of where the tent's supposed to go.
but heading north of the parking lot.
Top of the paper is north, so.
Okay, whatever. So that grass is not grass there. It looks like grass, right?
It is grass, it's tall grass. They don't even cut it. It stays so soft for so long.
Huh.
Part of that area is mowed. Right at the edge of the parking lot, they mow that. And I don't know, 30 feet further, they don't mow that. It's just, right now, it's probably 4 feet tall, 3 feet, 4 feet tall.
Well, I see what they're doing, okay. So they're roping off an area to walk through as well, and that takes away parking spot. That's a parking spot area there that's roped off. So they're removing 2 parking spot areas.
Mhm.
So what
And
they need-
also, just so you folks know, he hasn't approached me or talked to me about supplying any power or being on board with this. We haven't had any conversations. He has my phone number. He had texted me and said he wanted to get together, not this past weekend, a week before, and talk to me about some things in August. I haven't heard another word from him.
Okay.
So you supply the power for this?
No,
No, that-
no. That's what he said to you folks.
That's what he told, that's what he told
So when,
Who did he tell that to?
Adam and myself. Adam.
Oh. Okay, because you asked where, he just came out and volunteered that, or does it matter where the power comes from? Is there a,
No, Adam, our Adam had a concern with this gentleman's property being adjacent.
right,
And in response to that, Adam, his name is Adam too.
right.
From AJ said this gentleman was he was on board and he was supplying the power for the band. We didn't ask about the power. He
Okay,
just.
that's why I'm trying to figure that out, okay. Well, do we need, I don't know.
I think AJ's got to regroup here and put some more thought into this.
Yeah, 'cause I-
Maybe
you know-
change the hours slightly, instead of 10:30, maybe run it a little bit earlier. That stage is awfully, the first thing I noticed from this aerial view is, I'm assuming your home is,
Right there.
yeah,
I see the
I
house
walked
on-
it off from the corner of my building to the corner of the lot. It's
Yeah.
60 feet roughly. I didn't get a tape measure out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's very close. And like I say, I can hear the music when they leave that door open in my bedroom in January.
And it's
not that I
it's
can
pleasant
just
music,
hear-
I'm assuming. Yeah. No, that's,
And not that I can just hear like the bumping of a drum or something. I can hear the song. I know what song it is.
well, that's
how
probably
loud
better
it
than
is.
that bass that you can't
yeah.
understand what it is. That would drive me
It's mostly country music and stuff like that. So I mean, I know the words. It's loud. If you guys have never been there and been outside on a Saturday night when there's a band indoors, you have no idea how loud it is.
Right, okay. So what do we want to do for recommending the council?
I'd like to see us hold this off till next meeting and have the gentleman from AJ's
Defer?
maybe address this, defer this until then.
Could I get a
At least
motion?
this portion of it. The other part is fine. This portion is a little bit,
Do you want to move this up to council without a recommendation and defer it there, or do you want to defer it here?
I defer it here.
I second that.
All those in favor of the deferral, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's deferred till July 14th.
Now, are we going to give direction with that deferral? I mean, what, the problem here is, what I see is, we talked about parking, and I think the roped off area takes away parking, so that should probably be left open. Hate to say it, but maybe you should roll off the area through the grass, if he has to do something for his grass, so that they can use parking there.
Well, I'd like,
But the tent
I'm
is
sorry.
definitely sounds like is the major problem, is the
Why
tent seems
why
to
don't
be
we just
closed.
mention to him, the problem with the location of the tent?
there seems to be a power issue.
Well, power issue, I mean, he can.
But that's not our problem,
That's not
that'll
our issue.
happen
I
to
mean,
him,
Yeah.
He'll have to figure
Right,
that out one way or another.
generators or whatever, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Then all us neighbors have to listen to the generators and all of that too. The parking, I have to bring up again, when something's inside, so we have that parking area to use, or they have that parking area to use, and all of the gun club, when it's on a Saturday night, because of course the gun club is closed, they park up all of that. They've been parked on the shooting range, and they've been parked down the road. So myself and the neighbors' concerns are when a good number of people show up, again, where are they going to park? They're going to park down the roads, which means they're parking in our front yards, along with potentially the side of my
But
yard.
then again, if somebody has a party in the neighborhood, they're
Yeah,
going to park on the road
absolutely.
as well. So that's kind of
And that
a
party is-
catch-22.
That party's once, not
Okay.
4 nights in a row.
All right, I think we have some direction on what to go back to him and see what he can address.
Okay.
Thank you. Moving on. Recommendations regarding issuance of the Class B liquor license for Serendipity Redesign LLC, DBA Soiree on Janesville Road.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, the reason this one's pulled out separately is, was that part of Plan Commission or was that part of his, their last license? Their license, original license approval, the parking lot?
I think that was Plan Commission.
Okay, so part of their Plan Commission, their approval for having the Serendipity itself was they were to put in a parking lot within the first, I believe it was within the first year, or at least gravel, and have it asphalted by year 2. We're in year 2 right now. They finally probably in the last month, put the gravel parking lot in the back because they were having lots of issues with agreements and non-agreements with neighbors for allowing for parking, and the neighboring businesses were finally had enough, and they really pushed the issue on it. So they do have the gravel parking lot in. They don't have it asphalted yet. We have reached out to them and have not gotten any response from them at all. So that's why it's here separately right now. What do you guys want to do with it?
Well, I think right now, for the last couple of months, getting any work done and businesses, and there's just, you know what's going on out there. It's kind of a tough situation. We can give an extension
Right, and
to
I
get the asphalt done.
So, and that's, something you can do, give them an extension. The big club you have right now is your license. So just saying,
Well, we can put in
that's what I'm wondering, can you?
you can add that on. You must have asphalt in the next,
It's like a
3 months
condition.
or-
You can put a condition.
Yeah, so, and I'm fine with
Where
that.
we-
I just don't want to approve her license for the normal time and say, and we want this done, because she doesn't seem to be following up. And I agree with you, it's hard for businesses right now. She had 2 years for this, way before COVID came up, so. And the reason that we have an issue there is because she is so successful. So it's something that needs to get addressed.
Well, condition it with a time frame.
What do you want to put for a time frame?
What do you think, Rob?
120 days, I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds.
6 months?
Maybe, or it could be a little, I mean, where are we at now? We're in June, so we got July, August, September. I mean, it'll be into the winter. She's good.
Well, and it's a year-round business. I mean.
Yeah,
it's not
but you
like
got to
it's
have the
outside.
asphalt done at a certain temperature, right?
Well, the plants close in October anyway, don't they?
Usually plants close mid-October. If the weather's still warm, they'll stay open until Thanksgiving.
So you want to do 100 days?
100 days, I don't care.
100 days,
Yeah,
give her a little
sure.
more than 3 months?
Sure.
Can someone make a motion to approve their license for, can you go
With the amendment, I'll make it.
100 days on that?
I'd rather do the months, like
Okay.
30, 60, 90, 120. It's just so much easier.
Oh, you rather do months?
I'd rather just have it at the end of like 30, 60, 90.
I'd rather go 120 than
Yeah.
Should we
90.
say by October 1st?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. So their license is good until September 30th.
Right.
Okay.
Did someone make that? Who made that motion that I
think
just
anyone
said?
did.
I think Rob
I
did.
think Rob did, yeah.
I made a motion,
I'll second it.
whatever it was.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the amended motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to new business. Recommendation regarding extension of lease between M&N Shooting Enterprises LLC and the city of Muskego for Boxhorn Pole Barn area. So they have a pole barn that we eventually will be needing, but we don't need it until fall, correct?
November 1st.
November 1st, essentially. Our recommendation from staff, myself and staff, is to approve their extension.
I think I would I would go along with approving it to September. I'm afraid if we give them till November, we'll be in the same position because this has been going on for a long time.
Just so you know, though, right now, the lease is good till August 31st.
Right.
So
Well, if
are you saying just 1
Okay,
month?
October, we'll give them to October 1st.
So 1 month?
Right. Yeah, because I know he won't be out in November.
Well, if they're not, the only good thing now is the way I wrote the lease is if they're not out, we can put a lock on the door November 1st, if that's what we want. We could do it now at August 31st, but if we give them the 2 months, I don't have to evict them again, I have to go to court, just put a padlock on the door and you're done.
So just where this stands, just to give everyone, the permit is in. Since we meet like 1 week before we go and talk this thing, we are waiting for, the inspectors said, hey, we need some engineering bracing calculations. That arrived like Thursday or Friday of last week. So engineering has finished their review, planning has finished their review. We're just waiting for the inspectors to look at their latest set of plans. We will get it all done. Again, the one caveat is we could give them a permit whether or not they build it. I'm just letting you know. But just to let you know, probably within a week, they will have a building permit issued by the city of Muskego to build this building. So what we were waiting on last time was these calculations that just have not come in until last week at the end of the week, just to let you know.
So this is the building in front of AJ's, and we're going to take the whole thing over?
Yes,
Is that right?
it's ours.
Okay.
It's ours.
Well, I know it's ours, but
Yeah,
we're going to take it all over.
Yeah, we'll take it all over. We'll use it. Right now, they've been paying lease. It's been great. We don't need it till November 1st, just to let you know. Again, we'll probably issue the permit in the next week or two. It all comes down to whether or not he's going to build it. So-
And Jeff wrote the lease that we can put a lock on the door.
Right, and their lease payments are all current. We have a security deposit. So, and I have it worked out where, it's not like we're evicting a tenant, we're just evicting them and their property. So we would just lock it and be done with it. And if they don't get out, if I'm talking to Scott, it sounds like now they're moving forward to get this done, but
Again,
And then again, they got to get people in to make the business happen. So I think, we don't know what the economy is 100%, how fast, how backed up builders are and whatever, so.
Well, Boxhorn and AG's are different, right?
yeah.
Right.
Boxhorn
Yeah.
Energy is-
No, it's in front of it, I'm saying, but the building's in front of AJ's.
Yeah, correct. It's right there. That's
Yeah.
the building.
So we okay with doing the full extension to November?
As long as he understands that November 1st, the door is locked and the stuff will be sitting outside.
Yes. I'm pretty sure he's aware of that.
I made it clear to him.
we both
good.
made them aware of that, yeah.
Okay.
We
I
need a
don't think
motion or
there's
is
a,
this
I don't
new?
think there's a motion, is there?
No,
No
there's no
motion
motion.
yet.
No.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Recommendation approval of reduction of letter of credit for Muskego Lakes LLC Estates LLC, sorry.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Recommendation of dedication and acceptance of public improvements for Muskego Lakes Estates LLC.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Recommendation of approval, Muskego Lakes LLC Stormwater Management Practice Maintenance Agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Voucher approval.
Motion to approve utility vouchers in the amount of $47,431.94.
Second.
Discussion, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimously. Utility vouchers.
There are no tax vouchers. Let's see, total general fund vouchers, motion to approve general fund vouchers for the amount of $313,610.14.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Wire transfers, payroll.
Motion to approve wire transfers in the amount of $346,164.48. That's for payroll transmittals.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Finance Director's report, there is none. Communications and any other business as authorized by law. Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
We are adjourned at 6:01.